I was talking to somebody that has a really big brand. It's like a Shopify store, and they sell supplements. And he was talking to me how it's so easy to go to one of these universities and to pay for these studies to review your drug or review your supplement or your nootropic or whatever it may be. And what is the incentive for this undergraduate, this graduate student, this professor to actually do research on your shit? What's the incentive for them to do it? You start seeing how the universe works, and we are in a state of entropy, which is we go from order to chaos. Everything is in breakdown mode. Everything is dying. So it's the complete opposite of what evolution teaches, which is this idea of branching up and evolving to the survival of the fittest. You've changed my life. You've helped me become better. We're like, oh, okay, cool, thanks. But when somebody's like, oh, you're a fucking rat, whatever it is, oh, that hurts you. We need to start being able to take the positivity and let that nurture us, as opposed to taking the negativity, which we don't know the source of it. You don't know the person. You don't know their opinions, none of it. And allowing that to destroy you like a poison. No need for it, right? There's always going to be naysayers and critics, but you need to listen to the critics and the naysayers, because they may be telling you something that's true, but in a way that they're not able to communicate it because there's emotion, or they don't have experience, or they're just chatting out of an urge to type a quick message, or it's an instant response. But even in those messages, there could be truth. So analyze them from a pragmatic stance and from a non-biased perspective so that you can become better. And I'm happy for the critics that I have. I don't have many, but for the few that I have, I'm grateful for them. They're necessary. They keep you in check. They keep you aligned. They keep you alert. And then for the people that love you and respect you and appreciate the content and the time that you spend to put forth here, those are the people that we nurture and we want to invest into. But I believe, brother, those are the majority.
Yeah, I think you may be right about that. The silent majority is present, but the minority tends to be the loudest, I find is the case. That's a really good point. I also agree, like constructive criticism and even criticism as a whole. If you just
why do you think evolution's real, bro?
The way I see it, there's just evidence that we've evolved. Like, for example, humans 200,000 years ago are fundamentally different than we are now, right? So, for example,
but how do you know that? How can what is the concrete proof?
So,
because evolution comes from Darwin, right?
I'll give you this. I haven't seen it myself.
So belief. So it's a belief system. So
this is my belief system. No, yes, this is 100% true. But for example, humans, there's been different species of humans that have like come from different parts of the world, and over time they just sort of wiped each other out, and here we are. And this is like at a small time scale. But when we talk about like millions of years, like billions of years, I could see that taking place at like, just like a million times, right? Or like a billion times, like over and over again, that happening and then leading to where we are today. So that's kind of how
Ladies and gentlemen, part 3, we're going to have a debate on evolution. Part 3, we're going to talk about that one.
Let's do it.
I think we got to prep for it. I think you're going to have some good perspectives on creationism, whatever your belief or worldview is attached to it. I think is an interesting worldview, because if we talk about the world, and it's this idea of evolution is that everything goes from chaos to order, right? Which is everything goes from Big Bang to perfection, which is we're going into perfection. We're evolving into perfection. Whereas you start seeing how the universe works, and we are in a state of entropy, which is we go from order to chaos. Everything is in breakdown mode. Everything is dying. So it's the complete opposite of what evolution teaches, which is this idea of branching up and evolving to the survival of the fittest. So I have a couple questions there, like the billions and trillions of years. I'm trying to figure out who was there to record that, to give me those dates. Motherfuckers don't know what they had for breakfast yesterday, let alone telling me that there's some ape walking, eating mushrooms around the world 3 million years ago. Bro, you don't even know the color of the shoes that you have in your closet. So I take it with a grain of salt as well, understanding that a lot of it is theoretical, but people talk about it with so much certainty, which is why I like to question it. I'm like, okay, talk about it with certainty. Let's see where we're at. But I think it's a topic that we got to discuss, bro. I think the viewers and the fans, I think, would appreciate it, because I think there's a lot of back and forth in that topic of conversation. And I think that as science becomes more religious, people are going to be running away from that religion and moving towards logical thinking and trains of thought that are not just controlled by white coats and the people that control the white coats.
I do hate that as of the last decade, science has become a lot more political, and that's been something that's kind of, it doesn't sit right, and it definitely makes me question a lot of the foundational beliefs that people have, and it's like, you know, that are rooted in data that is extrapolated by scientists that we don't know of, or that, you know, so there's definitely a lot of
and I was talking, yeah, and I was talking
cases.
to, somebody that has a really big brand. It's like a Shopify store, and they sell supplements. And he was talking to me how it's so easy to go to one of these universities and to pay for these studies to review your drug or review your supplement or your nootropic or whatever it may be, your name it. And what is the incentive for this undergraduate, this graduate student, this professor to actually do research on your shit? What's the incentive for them to do it? Nothing.